Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I thought maybe we could take a look at my CD collection, just to basically recall for people who have responded by having these CDs. So why not? Basically, this is a stack of basically bootleg CDs I just basically burned. Here is basically all the soundtracks, just half of it, and this is all basically based on rock and roll and pop music, just a little bit of pop music. And then finally we have R&B, rap, and hip-hop CDs. So I thought we could probably take a look of all my CD collection and see what I have originally basically have to show you guys. Some of them I have shown you originally, a couple of weeks ago, and some of them I haven't. So let's basically start off and look over my CD collection today on Everest Monthly Reviews. Welcome back. Okay, so for now, let's basically start off. Probably start off with the hip-hop, R&B, rap CDs, and then we could go on with the rest of them. So let's basically start with this one. So basically, this is all based on hip-hop, R&B, and rap CDs I basically collect. I had a couple more originally, but eventually I sold them a bunch. So I will eventually come around and get them back into the collection, so you could definitely see that version in a couple of video updates. So first off, let's basically start off with Alicia Keys, the song of Mirror. This is actually a really great album. I personally recommend to people who are Alicia Keys fans. This is probably her first ever album. This is released in 2002, I believe. I'm not quite sure if this was basically her first album, but I know this was originally. But yeah, very well good original music. Has 50 songs on the disc. And if we open it up, let's put this here, like that. So you get a little closer look at the album itself. And on the back, nice good artwork of Alicia Keys. And it's spread with 15 songs. If we open it up, oh, look at that. It's a bootleg CD. Yeah, for some reason, my brother Jason just actually borrowed the CD from me, and he actually lost the CD. So for some reason, I had to make that bootleg disc for it. But it plays all the songs originally on basically the album, so not really this much. So I guess I give you a proper look, which is how the CD booklet looks. So like I said, this is the booklet. Nothing too fancy. Some booklets usually carry lyrics in the album, but most for art in the albums. But most of the time, it's all just basically a booklet. There's a book of pictures, and there's lyrics of basically the songs who wrote the song, or whatever. So you're not really missing much. And once again, the picture of Alicia Keys. In case you know, she is a basic piano. I can't even pronounce it. She is originally recommended as the piano singer, because she plays, not only she just basically sings, but she plays the piano. It's very popular because there are not many artists who would play piano originally in their albums, so you don't really see that much. And nothing too much, just basically info things of Alicia. Just basically thanking everybody who made this album. And back, just a spiral green stripes, black and green stripes. So, pretty cool. Yeah, I found it pretty obvious, Richard, for this album to be really interesting for people who are into Alicia Keys' music. And, originally most of the time, she's very well passionate singer. She's very well good songwriter, Richard, to be exact. So yeah, Alicia Keys, the songs of Mirror. Definitely worth picking up. You can basically find it originally. I think you could probably find it in most music stores. So, yeah, Alicia Keys. I already showed this already before, but I actually should show you again. This is the Making the Band. This is Bad Boys Making the Band. Too Hard for TV. I already did this review of this already, so you don't have to worry about it. So, but the people who haven't seen this album before, this is probably the least worst album I ever listened to. I mean, yeah, for what it's worth, give or take, it's pretty obvious that the group just basically had no idea of how they're going to try to make it through. I already explained this already originally, and I think I don't need to explain it again because you already, if you go to my the Making the Band season, Making the Band season, no, I can't even pronounce it. Making the Band 2 DVD and CD overview. Definitely check that out. I'll put the link to this down below for you guys so you can check that video out if you haven't seen it. But yeah, this is something that I treasure this so much. I don't know why I hold on to it. I guess because for some reason I enjoy it much. I mean, yeah, even the group is not, the band no more. I still find it pretty interesting to listen to. So yeah, and I think I already showed you the front and the back cover. So, and then I guess I give you an overview what this looks like. Yeah, nothing too fancy. And I guess I can give you a sublet. This is basically just the restaurant. In case you knows what this orange screen is, this is actually a protector screener, whatever you call it, to protect Richard from scratches and just read. Yeah, it's kind of like what that originally is. It's a little scratch, but it plays fine Richard for some reason. But the reason why I got this originally, I actually found this pretty odd Richard for this this little paper sleeve to protect originally the CD. For some reason, people use that originally so much, and this stuff. This orange little white thingy was pretty useful for people to use, but I don't know, it was just really kind of insane Richard basically. But for what it's worth, it was pretty well useful thing, whatever you call it. But yeah, the band. So definitely worth listening to if you're just a kind of casual CD collector, just like myself. Next up we have Will Smith, Lost and Found. I used to have a couple Will Smith albums back in the day, but I sold them a bunch of chunk of them. So originally, for what it's worth, I think it's pretty obvious that Will Smith was a very well, not just basically as an actor, but also a very well artist, because he's just he started rapping in the 1990s, and he continues rapping originally in 2000s. And what I find really interesting about this album is because there are very well considered music that he plays like Switch was pretty good. What else? Here He Comes, the first number album. I thought that Here He Comes was kind of like the theme song of the Spider-Man 1960s theme. You said like Here He Comes, He Can Come, all that stuff originally goes on and on, which is pretty interesting. And it's pretty wise for what it's worth. So I guess it's TV. And I have to say, for what Will Smith is doing, he's still continuing making more movies, which to this day, which I think that's the reason on that he's making himself as a big-time celebrity, because he still continues does what he does. I mean, not just making comedy, but also making great cinematic movies. I mean, come on, the guy who did Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. How can you go wrong with Will Smith? I guess I give you what's inside the back of this. That's his website, originally, info. I can give you a little bit close. Damn you, Logitech camera. Probably can't see it, but that's his website. It's www.willsmith.com for a special lyrics download poster insert poster. So yeah, that's pretty interesting. I haven't checked that out, I need to check that out and find out. And here we have a insert. This is a pretty cool insert. Most insert booklets usually come with the base of this info of the book. But this is what Will Smith did, which is very awesome. Because you don't see that in many books like this. It opens up like that. And you have a picture of Will Smith in the city landscape background. And then if you open it up, you got this basically all basically music. Just a little rhyme regimen. But here's the difference that you don't see what's in many albums. Observe. So we flip over here. We open up the. It's not really. So we open it up like this, and like this, and what we have, a poster of Will Smith, signed by Will Smith. I guess it's himself. No, I think yeah, signed by himself. I don't know if the base of this essentially. But yeah, that's pretty cool. I never seen that much as other albums. So I always think that it's above that. But yeah, pretty well awesome insert booklet. But I don't know. I just don't really see that really in many in many albums. But for what's worth, it's pretty really interesting. Okay, next up we have Black Eyed Peas. Crumpet, I guess we call it. Crumpet? Yeah, Crumpet. This is their second album. I do recommend it for people who are listening to Black Eyed Peas music. I mean, for what it's time, they basically just kind of like left it doing their thing, which they doing their own music, or basically just have much into common with what it's worth. But you know, what it's worth is pretty interesting. So basically, we have the front, the back of the base of the album. Just so you can't probably see, but you can probably see this logo of their song which on. Let's see if I can keep it a little closer. Yeah. Now we open up. We have their CD versus their poster board, which is pretty interesting. And you have a picture, nice artwork of an elephant trumpet. Of the trumpet elephant, I guess you call it. Oh, I'm just going to call it elephant. I can't tell the difference if the elephants have those horns. It's on their teeth, so just call it elephant. So yeah, not much. And like I said before, I think it's pretty obvious that sometimes, damn, let's see if I can continue. Sometimes you just have to really look at the group of stuff. I especially do like that song, "Let's Get Started," but I like it. I like the song version. The song I didn't like version was "Get Retarded," was just a complete song of the "Let's Get Started" music, which I find pretty odd, because from that song, it's kind of like, okay, it is the same version as the version "Get Started," but the only difference is it's far more different version, because, like I say, they don't use the word "Let's get it started" here, like all that stuff. They say "Let's get it started." So I don't know. Maybe that's just the way they were trying to confront what their album was, so. But for what it's worth, it's pretty well interesting. I mean, generally, I don't really listen to music I don't generally listen to hip hop or basically rap. But for what it's worth of giving, I think it's pretty obvious it's just what it is. So. And next up, we have Michael Jackson. This Is It. I actually really bought this originally, I think at Ross, or probably, Walgreens, that's what I was saying, Walgreens. And this was up to for $12.99 when the movie first released. So, to my knowledge, this is actually the only album. And the only thing you were pretty obvious is you get all the songs. You also get 2 new songs. This Is It, the theatrical song, and you get This Is It, the orchestra version. So you basically get that version very much. It's pretty interesting because, like I said, the album itself is very well wonderful digital book. And this is actually a digital book album, Richard, but I find pretty odd, Richard, for most albums. You don't really get these kind of things unless if you, excuse me, unless you're basically trying to find a music way to. So I'll give you a little picture of how the digital book looks, Richard, because there's not much of which I can say. So I guess I'll give you the front cover, back. I think I already showed this before, Richard, but I think I haven't. So inside you have the CD itself and a nice gold Nice. Yeah, just slip it back in. The only thing I find odd, Richard, is that Richard on the bottom you have that little tip of the CD, so it's kind of hard, Richard, to basically keep it, nice. But I tend to really be more careful with these CDs. So anyway, if we give you a properly look at the book itself, I guess I can show you this one. This is pretty well cool. But for most, originally, another one that's basically the entire crew just setting up all the songs. What I find odd, Richard, about this digital book, when the movie came out, well, basically when they were performing the performance of Michael Jackson's "This Is It" concert, they were very well hyped up. I mean, they were very well, considered musicians and very well considered dancers. I mean, come on. I mean, I thought the movie itself was pretty well good. Most people don't like that movie because it's never really considered for why Michael Jackson didn't really continue from his death. But come on, he was only 50 years old. It was not because that he had a choice to try to just basically not to do, any kind of a performance. I mean, come on, give a guy a break. I guess I could give you another picture of maybe this one. Yeah. I like this one better. Richard, because it's very well interesting. I do like the Beat It song and very well considered other music. I guess you even know one. So yeah, that's I really don't want to show you the whole entire album. You are probably already seen it before, Richard, but if you haven't, definitely worth it to pick it up because this is actually worth Richard to get. I will eventually come around and get the This Is It on Blu-ray. So I could basically, talk about Richard if there's any features. I will come around and get that on Blu-ray. Because I know it's basically probably cheap. And, Taylor is probably it is. Next up, we have Bobby Valentino. Yes! You probably don't think I'm very... Well, occasionally I'm not really curious of Bobby... Well, for instance, I really don't mind just to listen to R&B. As long as it's not kind of into the rappers, and I'm fine with that. But most artists usually from R&B singers do rappers for a change. They try to set up their album a little bit more. But I'm not really cool with that. So yeah, but I love Bobby Valentino because one song I think I enjoyed was what was it? Slow Down. Yeah, this is actually one of the songs I actually enjoyed because that music was really well intense. Really interesting, especially when they did the remix of it. So it's pretty interesting. So I like his music, Richard, very well. Some of his music are pretty well good, and some of them are just kind of like a little bit. Because what he does, Richard, he talks about very well. Most artists would talk about most R&B songs. I can't even pronounce it. Say it. Most R&B singers will basically write about their love interests, which. Yeah, it's sort of like that, Richard, because, some rappers would talk about their girl, about how their pussy good and good in my dick and all that stuff, which is yeah, that's the whole sort of thing, but I'm not into that kind of stuff, but as long as it's like R&B, and it is smooth jazz, Richard, R&B stuff, then I could probably listen to it. Like I say, I'm just not really coordinated, basically, of a person who talks about a woman who his pussy so damn good, or whatever you guys call it. Like I said, I'm just not really into that version. But for what it's worth, that's pretty interesting. So I guess I talked so much about it, I got to show you the entire album, have I? So let's basically give you. Sorry about the lighting. I'm trying to really give it a nice. There we go. I guess I can put that. There we go. That's better. Anyway, on the back, got a nice picture of him walking down the aisle with the man playing the tuba. The tuba. Yeah, that's what it's called. Tuba. And you probably can see it. There is a song listing on the bottom in the barcode and the description of the warning sign, Richard. You probably can't see that, Richard, but if you do, you probably can. But anyway, let's open the case up. So it's hard to come out, Richard. There we go. There we go. And we got a nice artwork of the disc of a music note, which is pretty cool. And then we go side. and that's originally of the picture of Bobby Brown. And there's plenty of other songs which just came out originally years ago, so you're not really missing much. Yeah, in 2005, blah 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 blah. Hustle and Flow, the soundtrack. I will eventually come around and get that originally back. Yeah, so. And once again, there's a booklet insert, but this is actually far more different. It's actually another poster board of Bobby Brown. I don't know why I say Bobby Valentino. How freaking cool is that? And then basically you just have the, I guess the inserts are basically the songs, and basically it's special thanks for people who work on the album. Yeah, like I said before, I think the only reason why, because of that, most albums usually do that, Richard, but most of them don't. You just basically get a nice booklet of basically all the songs which we're listening, and basically how the artists who create the song and all that stuff. But you just don't see that much. So yeah, Bobby Valentino. I don't know why I said Bobby Brown, Richard. I guess I got Bobby Brown in mind. Yeah, definitely worth picking up if you are interesting to listen to smooth R&B music. I mean, his music is pretty well good, so definitely we'll pick it up if you can. And finally, we get to the last album originally that I really probably because I mean, most time I think that for what it's worth, she's very well good originally, and I don't know, I found her attractive very well originally, but still, I just think that, you know, for what it's worth, I'm just not really was big of a lot of music. I mean, a lot of albums I picked up originally at a time, but for what it's worth, I will eventually come around. Finally, we have Tamia. It's just called Tamia. Yeah, the album, Tamia. What I find pretty odd to me about this album is that it just named herself just Tamia. She probably does other music. I will eventually come around picking up her other albums very soon. But another time, Richard, let's talk about this. Richard, now, I found this music. I found the album pretty well good because there is one song I enjoy, like that I find it interesting to listen to was Imagination, which pretty well, very soft and very jazzy song, which, you know, pretty interesting. It really introduced music to me, and I guess I could give you this. And for what's worth, it's a pretty well damn good song. I mean, come on. I mean, imagine if you imagine yourself originally being as an artist or whatever you guys call it, and you're basically just so here is the CD. I love the design of the CD case. Now, originally, you don't see that originally. You don't see albums that have the listen to the titles of the CD itself, and then we get a nice version of the back of the CD, just her namesake. Nothing fancy. And then we get to look at the booklet. Here's the booklet. Here's the back version. So we open it up. And this is basically pretty awesome because I love this version because not only do you get the songs, but you also get the lyrics. Now, most of the albums usually come with lyrics, which in some ways, but most of the time it doesn't. So you're not really missing much at all. But to give it what it is, it's pretty darn cool to have, you know, an artist put her lyrics in her album because you don't really see that. You mostly see that originally in many albums, but not many to do that originally. The only thing, if you want the lyrics, you're going to have to go to certain websites like the lyrics.com and actually download the, or basically print out the basic lyrics if you want. I used to do that all the time originally, but now I kind of stopped doing that. But I really want to have them back and actually really just listen and actually sing to them. Good job to Tamia with the lyrics. And just another three pictures of frame which are on the top, on the down in the corner on the right side. So and just a kind of like a visualize Tamia picture image, so you're not really missing much. So yeah, pretty interesting. Alright. You got pretty well considered a good taste of music. Well, tend to really, sometimes I do and sometimes I don't, because it all depends if the album is pretty well good enough. So, yeah. So, that includes of my hip-hop, rap, and R&B CDs. But there's plenty more originals I got, because I just look at the time, and I just went over original mentions. So I'm going to probably make this video probably short if I can originally. But yeah, this is my CD, and this is all my hip-hop CD collection. But we're planning on getting a couple more. So, till next time, we're going to continue on maybe the more CDs based on soundtracks. So definitely turn in the next time. Alright, and this is Eric Brown. Thank you for watching, and sayonara.